Good morning, kiddos. I don't see any no babies currently. It's gonna rain here in a bit. Hi, Frio, too. Our other bull is coming today too, so you'll get to see him. It's wild to me how much 2005's calf looks exactly like her calf last year. It's giving me like deja vu, man. No new babies the way it looks. Huh. I was hoping they would get with it so we could wrap up here. There's a C-section mama, still in a small pen because she's still getting some antibiotics. Hey, kid. You're going. Yes, bottle babies. So anyways, we'll go feed bottle kids. Bottle calves, they're not kids. Are you ready to see this bull that we bought?
Only had to spend $8,000 for one of my friends to come visit me.
This is the bull that Nathan and I bought. I bought it while Nathan was sick on the couch.
I've been pushing to buy a bull for my friends for a long time.
And then you were dead the entire time I did it. And
I
then
was
he like
supposed to
woke
go to a
up
sale.
and he was like, "Did you buy a bull?" "Yeah." "Oh, wow."
I didn't think you got one.
I did. Last black bull on the
Should've bought
sale.
Picasso.
I know, but I also like this one too. Besides the fact that apparently he's a screamer. Oh, make it weird. Oh, look.
It only cost me $8,000 for one of my friends. So we're gonna dump him on that side of the shed. I don't know if you want to just pull up to the shop.
I got a gate right there.
Or you can swing around and back up there.
It's a big trailer for one bull.
Where's the other bull?
In the tub hanging out. He hides in there. Earlier I was like, is he even in here? Yeah, he's right there. Okay. Oh yeah. Very good. Oh yeah, that'll
It's not
work.
gonna work.
We can use the door. Walk him in, he'll be just fine.
That's probably good.
Be nice.
That wasn't as slick as I thought it was gonna be.
Well, the trailer's... How long is this trailer?
32,
That's why.
and it's 8 wide. Well, then you got long box on the front.
You guys are the besties. I have a GoPro out. This is Owen.
Hi.
It's Owen, Stavick, and Nathan. Besties for the resties.
Yes.
Putting you in the YouTube, you're welcome. He is single to the ladies. Nathan's the eye candy of the channel is the comment he got the other day.
I
So
think that was the
now...
most feminine little move I've ever done. I don't know how to act on camera.
It's fine. Full send.
Let me hold that.
Yeah, this works.
Come on, buddy. Come on, Mike.
You did tell him what the name is. Stay out here, you jackwagon. There you go, bubs. Look at that. Now you have a friend. Besties for the resties now. Hey, bubs. That's what I
Every time
said.
Loading all these bulls, he's always screaming and bellowing.
Well, he's next to steers, so that'll help. Get him, little buddy.
We have any bulls with a brand.
Get him, little buddy.
Great Stone brand. I don't like our shoes for that shoulder brand. So that's one of the best. 15 years, he had it on the radio. And what he told how he said it would be there.
So let's discuss our bulls, right? So our two boys are the new addition to the bull herd, the bull gang, the crew that we have. So let's go dive in, kind of like pick them apart, not really in necessarily a negative way, but kind of just give you the intel on like why we bought them, why they look the way, or what we like about them, etc. type of deal. So I'll actually give you a tour of like the bulls that have been here for a minute. I was gonna say the OGs, but you know, that jazz. You've met him a couple times, but we'll talk about it. This is Jesse. This is our Blackhawk son. He originally was a heifer bull, but he does have enough growth and creates some nice feeder calves with bigger cows. Baldy is the oldest. That's one of the very first Simmentals we ever got. He creates phenomenal terminal crosses. Absolutely love them. That's Kevin. He is a high road son. And then Kyle is laying there, chewing his cud next to the gate, also a high road. Those two are half siblings. And then Ed is my cowboy cut back over there. Kyle and Jesse were heifer bulls. They're both too big for heifers now, so that's why we had to get a new heifer bull. We didn't have to, but he grew a lot this year, and that's what I was using. And then obviously the rest of them are not necessarily heifer bulls. Get to meet your new boyfriend very soon. Woo woo! And we're keeping the other boys separate. That way they don't get beat on by the dudes that have double the weight on them. It's not really fair game, you know? So what makes a heifer bull? Essentially it's gonna be something that's gonna throw a little bit lower birth weight. So if you look at the birth weight EPDs, they're generally negative. That way, when you compare them to the next animal, like they're gonna be 2 pounds lighter than B or A or whatever it looks like. But I want something that's gonna be a little bit smaller. Like I don't want heifers throwing 110-pound calves type of deal, especially when our heifers have higher birth weight genetics themselves. I wanna kind of complement that with something that's gonna back fat off a little bit just because we've had so much growth in our herd for so long. Outside of that, there's also the calving ease EPD, and calving ease EPD is not necessarily just directly correlated to birth weight, but it's also correlated to their like shoulder conformation of the calves that'll be coming out and their head shape, which we'll talk about here when we look at Maverick. But it's gonna have like narrow shoulders, not those big blocky shoulders, because heifers, that's harder on them to get out of the birth canal. You think you wanna have small, slender, just go whoop, and smaller heads, etc. This year, we used Bold Ruler on our heifers, right? And they had giant noggins, which is hard for a heifer, right? That's why we were having issues. He was low birth weight, but it's supposed to be calving ease, but he was just, there's too much growth on the back end that I think we're having issues with our heifers. Even though he's proven he just was not a good match for ours. Everything we have now as well is 100% Simmental, or at least a majority Simmental cross. We used to have limousine bulls. I know someone asked why we don't use them anymore. Main reason is that we just weren't as available in our area close by, and we hadn't had some good luck with different limousine breeders in the area. You know, when you have a bull and they're only lasting 2 seasons for you before they fall apart, that's not good. And I wasn't really enjoying the whole traveling excessive miles to find a bull. And I like what the Simmental breed brings. The fats are messing with stuff over here. Simmental adds some extra docility. I like the carcass traits. I like what they bring to the table. A little bit more maternal than a limousine in my opinion, and I just really like them a lot more. So I've really enjoyed the cross since we made the switch. I like to be as close to a 50-50 cross as I can just for heterosis, because that's free value. Heterosis means that essentially the offspring is going to be better than their individual parents because of crossbreeding within the beef industry. So that's where Simmental and Angus create Sim Angus popularity there. Also happens with black baldies if you do Hereford on Angus, etc. type of deal. So let's talk about the 2 newbies that we bought. This is Maverick. This is the one from Rates we got, the heifer bull. That was not really intentional. It was kind of an accidental purchase, you know. If we look at him, he does have a nice little baby doll head, very slender shoulders where he should be calving ease. And he is a bred but eclipsed son, so he is half Angus, half Simmental. His mom is a purebred Angus and then purebred Simmental sire. I like his top line. I like his front end. Let's tell you what I don't love. He obviously was a little bit chubby, so we've lost some weight. He's got some extra fat up in his scrotum, but he's getting better. He is a little bit posty-legged for me, a little too straight in the back end. It's not going to be that big of a deal coming out of heifers. He'll work for it. But if I could fix something, that's what I would fix. And I might give him a little bit more length. He's quite deep bodied, and I think that's also part of him being chubby. But a little bit extra length, not something you necessarily want to add in heifers, and then a little bit less, a little more angle in those back legs would be nice. Okay, so that's that boy. Half Angus, half Sim. Then we can look at who we're calling Michael. Mike is a purebred Simmental. So he looks quite a bit different than this guy. One, because he's not as chubby, and two, because he doesn't have any Angus in him. And he is out of the center mass bull that Stavicks have. I really, really, really like him. He came in optimal condition. Doesn't have any excess fat in his scrotum. Really nice top line, a little bit more length than Maverick has. He's got a little bit more angle in that back foot, which I also like. I like the way his feet are set. I like his shoulder placement. Like, I really like him. Honestly, the only thing I might pick him apart for is he might not be as large framed as I was hoping. That could come with time. But I'm really happy with this bull, and it made me feel better because he cost double and some than what Maverick cost. So it's also the first bull that Nathan and I bought, so it's one of those where you're like, ugh, type of deal. But I really like him. I'm excited. He is not a heifer bull. He does not have, you know, like high calving, he's low birth weight. He'll work better on cows, young cows, older cows, etc. Gonna kick him out to a pasture here, and then the heifer bull will stay here and eventually go be clean up. But I like him a lot. He's gonna grow, obviously. You can't compare these guys to the other ones because they're yearlings. They have not, you know, bred cows. They haven't grown. Once they hit 2 and 3, that's where you can really kind of do some comparisons. But every single bull here besides Mike is from Rates Simmental, Rates Farms in southwest Minnesota. And then this guy's from Stavick, so they're up in northeast South Dakota. New place to get him. I'm excited to see how he turns out. Honestly, I really like him. I think they do a great job. We're good friends with them. Rates also do a great job. We just got the easy keeping chubby boy this year, but obviously we've had 9 bulls from them now, so they last, they do well. Obviously happy there. Just also want to support a friend to get some different genetics, unique and something you can't find somewhere else, which is what they do. They don't breed the same stuff everyone else does. And I was having issues where a lot of the bulls that Rates were offering were bulls out of bulls that I had bred to. So it's one of those where it doesn't work for everyone type of deal. But he can go in every single cow we have, no issue. So okay, in the new one, but sometimes when I buy those high roads, we have some high road daughters, can't breed to them, you know, type of deal. But I like him. I'm excited. Hopefully he likes the ladies. He has a high libido, as we mentioned. He's a screamer. Don't make it weird. But apparently he likes to talk the talk. He hasn't really done that here, but he might get into some business here in a handful of weeks, which you'll see in an upcoming video as we get into breeding season and turn him in for cleanup on a much pasture here soon. I'm happy with my purchase. It was a little nerve-wracking when you're buying your first own bull. Up until now, I've always just like traded labor for bull use. Well, now Nathan and I have one of our own. We're also taking on some of that risk that comes with having your own bull, and fingers crossed he stays on 4 legs and doesn't, you know, try to off himself or break his, you know what, because that happens too. So, and these 2 are both semen tested, good to go, so we don't have to test them when we test the rest of the boys. Just hanging out. Got Mac out. Mac's mom is mad. Nathan's here. Do you like the bull?
He looks good.
He does. He looks real nice.
Stavicks do a good job.
They do.
Owen's my pals.
They develop them right, which I really like. Broke down planting beans right now. The alternator went out in the planting tractor, so currently working on that. And it rained most of the day today. Nathan didn't work today. Hung around. But got any questions? Let me know. Make sure that subscribe button so you can see this fellow more often. And we'll catch you on the next one. Anything you want to add?
Glad you got to see me.
Okay, bye.